3. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited. I get to have my girlie on, one of my girlfriends, somebody I've admired, looked up to, learned a lot from, especially in the last 6 years since I've had the privilege of living near Claire Mason. Woo woo, give it up. So if you are on with us right now, hashtag live below because we give away lots of things. This sucker, just so you know, is filled with lip glosses. So you're going to want to get in on the giveaway. So make sure hashtag live. If you're not live, if you're watching this in replay, do hashtag replay because we'll still hook you up with something. We're all about giving and loving on our girlfriends. Well, this is our superstar search, and we are just passionate to continue searching for women who will truly add to our incredible success of changing lives with Mary Kay. So I'm excited to dive right in. And I'm not reading any accolades. You're gonna get to know this chick immediately. So Miss Claire, how did we meet? Tell everybody how we met.
Oh my gosh. I actually am not even sure how we met, Andrea. I think, were we just in the training center? Was that the first time that we met?
I think so.
Yeah. You guys, if you don't know Andrea, or if you have not been reminded lately, she is such an incredible leader. And she has the ability to bring energy and light into every single room that she walks into. Every time she walks into a room, I'm like, oh, here she comes, here she comes. So your energy always precedes you, Andrea. I love that so much about you. But yeah, I guess we must have met at the training center when you moved here. Where did you move from right before?
Colorado this time. I moved.
Okay, this time Colorado, which by the way is one of the things that I admire the most about you is you being able to restart and relaunch your business every time that you moved over the years. So it's so powerful. So yeah, so we shared a training center together.
We sure did. And you're trying to take the glory. I can't let you do this. See, Claire likes the background. She's always shining the light on everyone. No, I'm going to steal this light back. Okay, so let me just tell you why I asked this amazing person. I admire so much about you, Claire, but I want you guys to know, I admire how truly your calm strength. You consistently just always, we're doing it, it's a done deal, and there's this calm peace, her enthusiasm. She has a quiet yet powerful enthusiasm. See, I'm the one that's like loud, obnoxious. I was not a cheerleader. I actually didn't like, I was a basketball player. So but her resiliency and truly her devotion to adding value to others. And so I'm just going to make sure everybody knows, like, that is why I'm so excited for the world to get to know you. You add value to every single group, every single event, and you've always made a difference in my life. So we got to meet. How many cars have you earned in Mary Kay?
6. We just earned our 6th car in December.
I am so proud of you. And which one is that?
The one we just earned was the Chevy Malibu. So
Okay.
Grand Achiever right now. And we are like just a few thousand away from the next one right now.
So I'll show you guys all the cars in just a minute. Yeah. So if you are somebody who's like, what, another car? She's gonna, her eyes are on the Cadillac. She's finishing that in 3 more months. So you can actually earn more than one car in 1 year. So comment below. We wanted you to comment if you're hashtag live or hashtag replay, because we're going to give away our prizes based on your comments. But comment below if you're like, I would really value earning a new car. I love that. Okay, so I want to ask, how did Mary Kay come into your life? The world does not know. Most of these ladies don't know. You are a hot dog. You have always been a hot dog in your other careers. So how did Mary Kay come into your sports performance world?
Okay, well, so actually Mary Kay I got to kind of back up a couple years before Mary Kay found me to kind of set it up. But I had the privilege of coming right out of college, not knowing what I was going to do. And I fell into something that I loved. And that was the world of global events. And so in the years, how many years? I don't know, several years before Mary Kay even found me, I was already traveling the world, making a 6-figure income, working on global events like the Olympics, Super Bowl, World Cups, pretty much any big sporting event you can think of, I've had the privilege of being a part of. I loved it. I loved traveling the world and I loved being a part of it. But the problem was in my mid-20s, I realized everybody around me was like moving on with their life, right? They met their dream guy, they were having kids, and I always came home with a great story, which was fantastic. I got to meet all these amazing people, but my life was pretty much the same when I came home. When I went away, I was like something new. And then I came home with a great story, but my life wasn't really moving forward. And so where the catalyst point for me was, this is going to sound really snobby, so just hold on a second. But I woke up one morning in a hotel room in Paris, and I got up and I was like, I have no idea where I am right now. I have no idea what event this is, and I just thought, this cannot be my entire life. And so, I mean, I think maybe you can't relate to that piece of it, of traveling the world and waking up that way, but I think most people can relate to just one day waking up and thinking, this cannot be my life. Something's got to change. And so that was what got me on the journey of searching. And because of that, I met my husband. Otherwise, I was gone all the time. But in that process, I met my husband, and a couple of years later, we were engaged, and I went to a bridal bazaar here in San Diego. And it's one of those events where the vendor events where they, all the vendors for the weddings are there. And so my bridesmaid signed me up for every single booth, got like 200 phone calls the next day. And one of them was a Mary Kay lady. Okay, so what you need to know is that I was a tomboy. I played soccer on the boys' soccer team in high school. And my skincare at the time was literally the shampoo that fell on my face. That was my skincare. And makeup, I had tried black eyeliner. That was it. Not even lip gloss, nothing until that point. And remember, I was already past college. I was well into a career by this point. And so when they said, you need to wear makeup at your wedding, I was like, why? I've never worn makeup before. And they just said, you have to. So that's what got me to the facial, to the pampering session with my consultant. And I tried the product that day, loved it, but and I bought products, but since I wasn't really ready to start a skincare regimen, honestly, it stayed in my car for about 10 months. Never even made it into the house. Is that so bad?
Part of your story.
Yeah. And so my poor consultant would call me every couple months, and this was before texting. So it was a phone call, and she would call me every couple months, and to find out how I was doing, but I never responded to her. I never answered the phone because it was still in the car. I mean, I never even brought it in. Okay. And so fast forward 10 months later, I got married. I ended up hiring someone for my makeup. And then a couple months after that, my consultant called me. And for some reason, I answered the phone. And it was because I still was searching for how can I be home more often. I still hadn't figured out what my life was going to look like. And so she said, hey, I'm moving into a leadership position. Would you be willing to help me with my training? And I said, absolutely, as long as you know that I would never in a million years ever do anything like Mary Kay. And she goes, that's okay. I just need 10 people to help me with my training. And so got on the phone with her and her director and her mentor. And about an hour later, I was a consultant.
Okay, okay, there's so many things that just I'm following my questions, but girlfriend, you're so good at interviewing people. I'm trying to learn. What happened to my tissue? Hold on, there it is. Hold on. I'm trying to remember and learn what you taught me by just watching you. But what you just said was so powerful. I think sometimes we fast forward to now you're a consultant. So throw something in there for the consultants watching, because when we follow up professionally, a lot of women feel like that might be badgering, like how now, having been on both sides, how do you now teach following up and being somebody that doesn't care about the results as long as you're doing, your professional job? How do you respond to that?
You know what? I know that it can be discouraging when someone doesn't return a phone call. And I feel so bad now that that's how I treated my consultant. So anytime I have a customer that doesn't return my call, I'm like, remember, you didn't return her phone call either. But what I want you to know is that most of the time, it's not because they hate you. It's not because, that they don't want to hear what you have to say. It's just they either got busy or, there's not really our job as a consultant is a consultant. We're not a salesperson, we're a consultant. And so to me, the difference is a salesperson, once the transaction is done, you're done. A consultant is someone who follows up, because the part of what you get with our products is our customer service and our expertise. And so her follow-up was awesome. I'm so glad she did. But I can tell you, I have no idea why she called me to say, "Hey, would you be willing to help me?" Because I gave her definitely no indication that I would ever be a consultant. So,
Love
yeah.
this. This is great. Now, what surprised you? You've had all this experience. You've, hung out with famous people. Um, what surprised you in our Mary Kay world, our culture, our, not just our industry. It's more of our Mary Kay. It's not the beauty industry. It's our Mary Kay culture. What surprised you that then had you become so loyal?
Okay. Well, you're right. And so obviously I was not a product junkie. I was not interested in makeup or skincare. And honestly, today I love our products. They're the best, but I'm still not a product junkie even today. What I heard her say in that conversation is that she said that Mary Kay believed that if you put God first, family second, and career third, that in that order, everything works, and out of that order, nothing works. And that if you praise people to success, tell them what they're doing right instead of what they're doing wrong, then they will do far more for themselves and for you than they ever, or for you than they ever would for themselves. And I just thought I'd never heard that before. Remember, I came from a world that was, if you're making a six-figure income in corporate America, you're not putting your family or your faith before your career. I'd never even heard of anything coming before a career. It
Mm.
was the only thing that was important. So honestly, I only said yes at the time because I was curious. Like, what does it look like it to live your life with your priorities in order? And the $100 that it cost to start at the time was completely worth it to me just to see. And I honestly did not start it to start a new career. I don't think you can jump from a six-figure career to all of a sudden being all in to this Mary Kate, especially because it was nothing like
Mhm.
what I was doing. I just kind of was dipping my toe in. And so you're right, though. It is the culture and it's the values of our company. The heart of our company is what has kept me here.
Yeah.
Just allowing it to be a vehicle to live out my purpose, my calling, and help other women do the same.
And I think it's important. A lot of our, first of all, tell me what you have been enjoying. If you're listening, you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Please keep the comments going because we want every comment gets you in more opportunities for our drawing. Um, Claire, you joined Mary Kay, and I think a lot of people say to me, well, I have a career that I love. I can't just do this. And I always think,
Yeah.
did you pray about joining Costco? Did you spend a month about joining Costco? Did you talk it over with your husband and ask your in-laws and ask everybody else if you would be a good shopper at Costco? Like, how do you tell people who are passionate about their career? Maybe they have 17 children and they don't have time, how they can
Yeah.
still dip their toe in Mary Kay with a $30
Yeah.
e-start
Exactly.
option.
Yeah, great question. So you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, you just hit it right on the head. It's a $30 decision. It's not like a $10,000 decision. And we aren't asking anyone to give up what they're doing or what they love. I wasn't ready to give up what I loved. And if I'm being honest, I kind of still stayed in the game a little bit. Like right now, I do one event every year because I still love it. I didn't hate what I was doing. It's just that what I was doing was not allowing me the life that I wanted. And so it's a $30 decision or 130 if you get the full starter kit. And nothing bad happens if you decide it's not for you.
Yeah.
So I just feel like don't overthink it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so true. So true. So you get to be around a lot of successful people. You've hung out with famous athletes, being a part of, Final Four or the Super Bowl or, of course, the Olympics. What have you noticed in those professional, successful people that you were surprised to see in our leaders
Mm,
in Mary Kay? Now, that might be a tough one that I threw at you, but
yeah. Um, okay, that is a great question. I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't think that any of those athletes or famous people have anything that you don't. Every single person has in them 100% what I call a gold medal moment. It's just that your gold medal moment may not look like theirs. It's not on a world stage on a podium with a medal around your neck, but everybody has a purpose and a calling. And so I would say what I noticed about them is that I was witnessing them. I'm witnessing them always at their peak. I'm not seeing I'm looking at their highlight reel when I meet them. Do you know what I mean? Because they've already made it.
yeah,
I'm not seeing all the work that happened before that.
Yeah.
And so we sometimes look at people and be like, yeah, they just got lucky. No, no, no. All these people, the conversations I've had, they worked really hard to get where they are. They were consistent and spent the time. So the work ethic, and then the disappointments. There is no athlete, no celebrity that has not had to overcome disappointments.
Yeah.
And so we have that in common with people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got chills. I'm sure all of our audience did. One of the reasons I love Claire so much is when I'm sitting there, I'm like, holy moly, I'm so inspired. Like you just have this powerful wisdom. And I know you have invested a lot in growing you. So I'd like to just show the audience real fast. If you have gotten a little excited, and we did talk about the eStart, I just want to show the audience. Maybe you're not sure. You haven't even been using the product very long. I signed up 1 week after buying the products. I didn't even know much about the products at all, but I was told if you're teachable, trainable, and coachable, you can really go far. So let me show this real quickly, because you can join our organization in one of 3 ways. You can just be one of our amazing VIPs. You can, of course, be a VIP with free. If DSW had that, I would be all over hosting Facebook parties that don't even require much effort. You just invite your friends to Facebook and we do all the work. And of course you get us, a couple smiles because you're liking the product. We can even do Zoom, but the bottom line is we have lots of ways that even just you referring, we can help you use more of the products and of course earn them as a VIP. But we now have this amazing eStart. Now there are other ways to join. And when we talked about the cars, these are all of the cars. Can you believe it? It's just, we've never had a truck. This is
It's
just
a fleet.
it is a fleet. And ironically, I'm picking up my new car today, and it's our 14th free car. And so I shared this picture because when Claire and I were talking, she's mentioned mentorship and being around people who have values that you can grow from. And I started my business and I would take my kids in my pink Cadillac. This was Hawaii, but I've been able to be at home with them and raising them. And now I'm, a mom with older kids, but we really want to give all women, instead of just working behind a cash register and being discriminated no matter your age or your race or your size or your beliefs, we have a company that encourages and is inclusive. So $30 eStart, you can get more, which I recommend. And your consultant, I will post this, but your consultant can explain more of it. So I wanted to make sure everybody got to see that. You are fast tracking to national, and you have been groomed and mentored by one of the best. And so I just want to, close with, there are consultants watching and there are guests watching. I like talking a lot about Stacy and some of her successes. So do you mind if we just for a second share, because you get to sit so closely to Stacy because you plan her events and she's of course mentoring you to national. What is her highest check in Mary Kay been?
Oh my gosh, I don't actually even know. It's somewhere in the vicinity of 50,000. I don't remember it exactly. Somewhere there.
So is that like in a year?
Oh no, sorry, in a month. I'm sorry. I forgot that very important part.
So what you're saying is you started this Mary Kay thing because, there was a lot that could happen in your life, but there's actually an opportunity to have a life and a lifestyle.
Absolutely. You know what? I never would have said yes to this if there was not an opportunity to at least match what I was making before. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it had to. And it does, like far beyond.
And we talk to your consultant if you're watching. If you were able, think about this. My husband's a corporate America, and I know Claire's is too. If you were able to have, we call it a family security plan. Most people call it a retirement, which is almost non-existent. And most people have to put in money, and their company might match their 401k. Stacy's going to have a retirement. My national had a retirement. Does Mary Kay require you to put any money into that request?
No. Oh my goodness, no. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And I don't know if Stacy has she shared like what her retirement will be?
Well, she has 3 more years. So really these next 3 years could be the highest of her last 5. So no. Yeah.
Tell everybody what that means. Explain that real quickly.
Okay. So as a national sales director, when you retire, they take the last 5 years that you worked, average together your income for those last 5 years, and then they pay you 60% for 15 years until you're 80. It is crazy. So I think, well, so our senior national, I know, is making more money in retirement than she did all of her Mary Kay career.
What?
Well, because
Oh my gosh,
15
yeah.
years till you're 80, you're even paying. So if you think about it, if you get paid 60% of your highest 3 years, or the average of your highest years,
Yeah,
that's going to be more in 15 years than it maybe was the first
true.
30.
That's true.
So yeah, that's
I
certainly
love
going to
it.
be the case for Gloria too.
And my favorite thing is Christine Peters came into Mary Kay almost at 50. I mean, she was in her late 40s and she was able to achieve the same thing. So a lot of times people think, oh, I'm too old, or I've lost the opportunity to set goals. No, no, we see it all the time. All right, well, in closing, guess, comment below what you would do if you had, let's just even say $5,000 as a paycheck, but 50,000. What would you do with that if that could become your future? And guests, I'd like to hear that from both consultants and guests. So in closing, would you share one tip for consultants who are watching, and one tip if there is a customer who maybe hasn't even used the skincare? What would you give as a tip?
Okay, so for consultants, I would say, so I want you to know that many of the nationals right now, our national sales directors, the highest paid women in our company, many of them started in their 20s. And the only difference between them and the ones that are not national sales directors today is that they stayed. And so, even if you feel like right now, if this is a season right now that you can't do a lot, you have some things going on, just keep going. Don't quit. It's just the keep on going that is going to get you to wherever it is that you want in your Mary Kay business and in your life. So that's what I would say to consultants. To guests, okay. So I think what I would say is this. I think no matter how successful you already are, there's still more in you. I felt like, I was doing pretty good and in my career, but I didn't realize how much more was still in me. I do believe that every single woman, like I said, was born to make an impact on something and someone. And you just may not have discovered what that is yet. And so you may not be passionate about skincare and makeup, but I wonder if Mary Kay could just be a vehicle to help you get what it is that you want in your life. So just remember, there's more in you, there's more to you, and there's more for you.
Wow. Okay. The best 30 minutes of my day. Thank you so, so much. And if you are somebody checking us out, I really want to ask you, are you in it to win it? So if you have been like, oh, I don't know, I think Claire just gave you such a great opportunity. $30. You, of course, can be smart and do the starter kit for $130 and even get some samples for the other great deal. But you owe it to yourself to give it a try. I just want to close by saying I almost said no. I almost thought, selfishly, I was like this, like, oh, yeah, I don't think it's for me. I have a degree and, I'm not somebody who peddles things. How little did I know that I would become a better dietitian, a better mom, fundraising for every single kid activity, a better volunteer at my church because of my Mary Kay skills. So 100%. I just thank you so much. What a fun girlfriend, and thank you for sharing your time. So proud of you. She is rocking it.
Thank you.
Cadillac in a couple months, and we're cheering for you and your team, Claire. Thanks again, and everybody. Please, of course, comment. We would love to have a follow-on chat. I have. Let me also say, A, B, or C is what I'd love for you to leave. A is absolutely, I'm ready. I'm in it to win it. B is, okay, buy me a cup of coffee. We can do Zoom, talk a little bit more. And C is, I love what I hear. I'll pass you on. I am great as a customer. So please give us your rating so we can follow up and be professional. And we just appreciate you so much. Bye, everybody.